Do you want to know how to self-publish a book but not really sure where to start? Well, in today's video, we're going to start it off with the best first step. And that's going to be, of course, Amazon KDP niche research. Stay tuned to today's video. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, best-selling author as well as a self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. If you want that too, make sure you click the subscribe, ring the bell notification icon, and switch it to all so that way you don't miss a single one of these videos. This is the beginning of a whole new series about how to self-publish a book, and I actually got with the fine folks over at Fiverr to put together this series, so a big thank you to them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them and later into the video. The reason for this series is I want to take you from idea to writing to editing to formatting, to finally publishing and beyond. But the first most crucial step when it comes to publishing is going to be actually researching what you're getting into. And you need to find good keywords and niches, things that are going to, of course, get you more discovered and get it to where readers are willing to buy your work. Because it's just one thing for you to sit down and try to, say, write out something and then just publish it out there and hope for the best. But what I want to do is show you how to find the demand first and then provide that demand. Get it to where someone has a problem, you've got the solution, and so that's how we're going to find what we need when it comes to the right keywords and the right niches. The very first step you've got to do is identify your target audience. Know who you're writing for, because if you don't figure out who it is or what's ailing them or why they're going to buy your book in the first place, then you're really just writing it for nobody. And honestly, if you're just doing this for the craft, you may want to skip this video, but if you really want to make a substantial living at writing and publishing books, then you really have to identify your target audience. And I think I heard it once said that if you try to write for everyone, you write for no one in the process. So get good on who your audience is. Compile a list of common keyword phrases. Okay, so now that we've identified your target audience, we got to be starting to think about how are they searching for your content. So you got to put yourself into their shoes. Be in the driver's seat and think about what are some of the ways that they're looking up for your particular type of work. Now, don't hold back on this one. You can do an entire notebook full of keyword phrases if you wish, or just typing it out on MS Word is perfectly fine, but you're going to want to keep typing them out just as quickly as you can. I will sometimes sit down and brainstorm about 30 minutes before I go ahead and call it quits, and then start to do even more research. Our very next place that we're going to want to visit is going to be on Amazon, because now we're going to see if some of these keyword phrases are actually searchable on the Amazon marketplace. There are three things we want to focus on. That's going to be how many products come up in a search query, what's the average rank of products on the first page placement, and we also want to check the top 10 bestseller lists for some of the books that are performing well. Now here's a little bit of a tip. It's going to help you out. It doesn't cost a dime. Get yourself loaded up with an extension for your browser called DS Amazon Quick View, because it's going to show you in a snapshot what their Amazon bestseller rank, because we want to make sure that the ranks are good. That way we know, okay, this keyword or this niche is worthwhile. You're probably wondering what's going to be a good ranking when it comes to Amazon, and generally speaking, I like to see a rank of anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000. If it's beyond 100,000, then chances are likely there's just not enough demand for this given keyword or this niche. If you get something that's a little bit lower than 10,000, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but just know that it's going to be super competitive. I find that if I get a good keyword and a niche between 10,000 and 100,000 as far as the bestseller rank, I'm on to a pretty good niche that has a right amount of demand, but not too much competition. Identify winning keywords. Okay, remember how I told you to get DS Amazon Quick View? Or you're gonna get it all loaded up and make sure that it is enabled for incognito mode. You're gonna end up going, I think, into settings inside your browser. You're gonna find your extensions. As soon as you get into the extensions, you're gonna enable it for incognito mode. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into your browser and go into incognito mode and visit the Amazon Kindle store or the bookstore. I generally speaking go over towards the Kindle store for most of my research when it comes to getting keywords and niches. Here's a formula for you to kind of bear in mind. What we really want to find is good keywords. They're going to be something we're going to want to hang on to. So the formula includes products plus average rank equals relevant keywords. So I want to see how many products are going to be pulled up in a search query. And the next thing is, what is the first page placement looking like? What's the average rank? So I'm going to see each one of those products, and you can kind of just figure it out in your head when it comes to, what's the average rank between them. If you feel really fastidious, you can always just take all 16 of the ranks on the first page and write them all down and then divide it by 16 to get the average rank. Now, full disclosure, I'm going to say this. I'm a bit of a cheater. I very rarely do this old-fashioned method. I actually have a software that's called Publisher Rocket, and Publisher Rocket gets all that stuff done for me within seconds, and I can just go through and get as many keywords as I want to. So sometimes my list of keywords can be way shorter, and I just jump over to Publisher Rocket and it just pops up everything that I need. Now it's time to narrow down the selection. So what you did was you're going through, you had your keywords, or at that list, and you're gonna go through and you're gonna figure out, okay, are these keywords worthwhile? No, that one's not good. Yes, this one's good. Now we've narrowed down the selection. We gotta narrow it down even more. I'm going to put it in order of importance. I'm going to put it in order of priority. You're going to have to pick favorites and figure out, okay, this seems what I'm going to be most likely writing about, what I'm going to be publishing about. Get those ones kind of, narrowed down. And I like to find 1 to 2 really good keywords. For nonfiction, most importantly, I'll try to load up the title and or the subtitle with a good keyword of some sort. Now it's going to be a little bit more difficult if you're doing fiction writing. From time to time, you're just going to have to name it what it's going to be and not worry about having a keyword inside the title for a fiction book. Now, so the other keywords that we have on there, we're going to have to pick favorites again. And what we're going to do is narrow it down to 7 good back-end keywords. Now, these back-end keywords are going to be used later on when we get ready to publish. I want you to think about these keywords as the best identifiers of what your content is going to be. Typically, what I like to do is I try to find any keyword that has some type of overlap. And I use this quite a bit. I'm going to use it again here. You can find a root keyword like workout, but if you were to search up, you can find an auto-suggest. It might say workout plan. If you were to type in, say, home and then workout, it might put up home workout for men, or it could say home workout plan for women. So I try to find some keywords that have overlap in them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build what's called a keyword stem. And what it's going to do is it's going to create this like super keyword, a long tail keyword that we're going to use inside the backend. Now we don't want it to be any longer than 50 characters, and that's including spaces as well, because we're going to end up using that later on when we go to publish our book. We got 7 slots. I like to reserve 1 to 3 of them for some real doozies, some keywords that have some punch to them. Ones that you say, okay, this is precisely what my book's about. Sometimes you got to kind of take a bit of a gamble, but I say 1 to 3 of your keyword phrases for the 7 back-end keywords should be an exact match. In other words, we're not going to stem it at all. We're not going to be putting in other keywords with it. It's just going to be one by itself. Don't utilize your title or subtitle keywords. It's already inside the title and subtitle. It's just redundant if you put it in your 7 back-end keywords. Again, if you don't know what I'm saying yet, we're going to be talking more about this in the publishing process later on in this series. Okay, I've got one more vital step, and I'm going to need you to stick around. I'm going to tell you why I didn't choose my own name for this next publication. That's right, we're going to be publishing and writing a book, but I'm not going to use my name, and I'll tell you why as soon as I tell you a little bit more about our exclusive sponsors. All of this has been put together with the team of Fiverr, and we're going to be showing you some really awesome features that they have part of their services. This includes the Fiverr book and ebook store. It's the ultimate home for developing, perfecting, and publishing book-length content. Fiverr's all-in-one platform provides everything you need to go from concept to finished and packaged book. That's what we're shooting for in this whole series here. The services in the store follow the logical order of a book's life cycle. So they're taking you from A to B to C and everything and beyond. You can actually see it for yourself. If you head over to dalelinks.com/Fiverr, that's Fiverr. And now comes the author name. Now, if you happen to be writing your own work, chances are very likely you're just going to probably attach your name. But for the work that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to talk a little bit about in the next video. I'm actually not going to use my own name. You're going to find out really why later on. But for right now, I don't want to muddy up my own name of Dale L. Roberts since it's already a fitness brand and something involved in self-publishing. Because the content I'm putting together is going to be a little bit different in the nonfiction realm. So that's one tip I would say. If you're an author, don't muddy up your brand with numerous niches. You want to make sure you niche down and stick to it. You can only imagine how confused you'd be if you came to this channel expecting to learn a little bit about self-publishing and then I start to show you how to do doilies. I mean, that just wouldn't make sense. So here's how I choose a pen name. Now, you're going to want to make sure you're very diligent. This is not a step you want to skip over and try to guess your way through because you could accidentally try to use somebody else's name, and that can put you in hot water with whatever distribution platform you plan to use, including KDP. What I try to do is I think about, okay, my target audience, what's going to be their age? Who's going to be reading this? And from that point, I start to think about what are some common names around there, because how are they going to be able to identify with the author if they've got a name that's just, it doesn't make sense. They can't identify with it. So I think about the age range. So for this particular book that I'm putting together, I thought to myself, okay, what's a good contemporary name? Something that is going to be someone in, say, their 20s. And so all I did was I looked up popular names of the 2000s and I was able to pull up a name here. And I'm going to tell you the name eventually. And then also I found myself stumped because I took this number one name and I tried to put last name after last name after last name. And what I did was I got onto Google, I type in the word author, and then the first name, and then I put the last name and I do a search. And of course, if it pulls up an author, then I kind of go, nope, that's not an author name that I want to get. If you find that it passes the Google test, you then want to take that specific author name and go over to Amazon and try to search for it. If you don't see anything there, you might be good to go. But I was stumped on the last name, so I ended up going over to the fine folks at Reedsy. They actually have a pen name generator, and you can just put in any letter or name that you want in there, and it'll generate one for you. And after a few tries, I finally landed on a last name that worked out really well for my pen name. If you want to find out that pen name, you actually have to stay tuned to this channel because I will share more about the whole process. In fact, I'm going to talk about the very next video that's going to be coming up about outlining and writing when you're pressed for time. I know I'm pressed for time. You're going to see me in the next video once it's available. See you then.